water before we get started. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Carrie Conversations. Today we are talking about autoimmune conditions and sort of the things that I use to manage my own autoimmune conditions. And I thought I'd share that with people at home. So hi, let's give a couple more minutes for people to sign on, and it's nice to see you all. How's everybody doing? Thanks for the hearts. Throw some hearts up. Oh, thanks, Lindsay. Sending you back love. If we could also just say a quick prayer for my friend who just lost her father to COVID. Michelle, you are in my prayers and my thoughts. Okay, so amidst all of this that's going on in the world, I wanted to take a moment because I've noticed a lot of you ask me questions about autoimmune and how I live and get through life. So KWDG Galmerlo, you suffer with Sjogren's, lupus, and fibromyalgia. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. So a lot of you asked me about autoimmune and how to deal with it, and you had a lot of questions, so I thought I would dedicate a Carrie on Conversations today to that. So first of all, what I want to start out with is I have autoimmune disease, period. I have Sjogren's syndrome, that's my primary. I have lupus, I have fibromyalgia, I also have rheumatoid arthritis, and I have the markers for APL, which is antiphospholipid syndrome, which is a blood clotting disease. And that's the one that always scares me the most because it feels that I could have a blood clot at any moment. So trying to make sure I manage my health and everything as much as possible every day so that I can live the best life. But I do think one of the gifts of having something like APL or any of these conditions is that I do not take for granted a healthy day. I think anyone who has autoimmune out there can agree that we do not take a good day for granted at all, and that is a beautiful gift because I think a lot of people can take for granted their health, and we don't. Oh, someone just asked L-carnitine, okay? TMAC 0322, we'll talk about L-carnitine. Okay, but we're going to go in this order that I've kind of drawn up here. So, since Sjogren's syndrome is my primary, I want to talk first about Sjogren's syndrome. And I'm going to get to your questions at the end. So, you all wrote me some really cool questions, and we'll get to your questions at the end, okay? Because maybe what I go through will help you and understand and answer some of those questions. Okay, so first of all, the most important thing for me is dryness, managing dryness, because Sjogren's syndrome is an autoimmune condition that affects the mucus-forming membranes in your body. Anything that's a moisture-producing gland gets attacked by this condition. My own immune system is attacking it. So I take, for medication, just so you know, I take pilocarpine, which helps you produce saliva, which is great. I take, you can take it up to 3 times a day. I take it at night so that I don't wake up like coughing. I'm sure some of you know what that's like when you wake up coughing because your mouth is so dry. I also, if I'm going out to dinner or if I have to speak a lot, I'll take it so that my mouth doesn't get dry. That's very helpful, by the way. I also take Plaquenil. I take Plaquenil. I took it every day, 200 milligrams every day many years ago. And then I developed ringing in the ear, so I stopped. And then during the pandemic, during COVID, I experienced extreme pain, as many of you probably have. Hello, everyone. Hi, thanks for the hearts. And because of that, my doctor put me back on it. So now I am back on Plaquenil, and I take it every other day at night because I don't want to take it every day because I don't want to get the ringing in the ears again because it took a really long time for the ringing in the ears to go away. Okay, so that's the beginning of that. Now, let's start with some of the products that I use for my skin, because a lot of people ask about skin. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is my favorite product by far. This Pure Fiji Body Butter. It smells delicious. Oh, someone's asking about nasal dryness. We'll get to that. It smells delicious. Look how thick and creamy it is. If you read the ingredients, it's great. We don't have time to get into all of that. But one of my tricks is, and I learned this when I was a choreographer and I worked with strippers, we learned to mix the oil and the body butter together. And then what it does is it really locks in your moisture. And the best time to put this on is right after a shower. Oh, it's yum, yum, yum. So this is amazing. And we're going to have a giveaway at the end of this little thing. 2 sets I'm going to give away at the end of this, so keep listening. Okay, so that's one of the things I use for skin. I also use various moisturizers. This is a great product, DHC olive oil. For those of you who just like to keep it really simple, this is one of the best products. You can use it face, hair, skin, nails, everything. There's no scent, really simple. It's a Japanese made product and it's really wonderful. You can find it on, most of these products you can find on Amazon. Okay, so that oil, again, was also the Pure Fiji oil, and that was mixed with the Pure Fiji body butter. So, also, because dryness is an issue, sometimes you walk into a room, I always carry little sprays with me. So this one is coconut water. As you can see, there's a theme. I like coconut. And that always just kind of like when you're feeling dry, you spray that. You can also have rose water. I keep one in my car. I keep one at my desk. I keep one by my bed. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night, it's very dry. I spray that into there. It's wonderful. I make my own with regular water, and I put in 10 drops of eucalyptus and 10 drops of lavender, and it just smells amazing. So that's some of the tricks to keeping moist during the day. I also want to talk about your hair, because your hair can get really dry when you have these autoimmune conditions, or actually I just heard recently that if you've had COVID, that can also make your hair dry. And my hair is extremely dry lately. So I guess, a shampoo is really good. There's so many moisturizing shampoos out there. This is one that I have been using and it works really well. It's a little bit on the expensive side. It's Olaplex number 4, but I don't use it every day because it's expensive. I use it maybe every 4th shampoo, and it helps kind of bring the moisture back into the hair. I've been using this conditioner forever, since I was a fly girl, which was back in 1989. Hi, BB1 fan. I'm doing well today. Thank you. I hope you are too. Hi, Canada. Okay, so this is a great one. It's called Crema, and it's a really good moisturizer. What it does is it seals the cuticles, and it makes your hair more shiny. But this one I just recently was turned on to by Fabian, my boyfriend. He introduced me to this. He works in beauty products as well. And this is called, it's a 10, and this worked really well. So I use this like once every 2 months, or once a month maybe. More so lately because my hair's dry. And I just look at the texture. It's very rich and, oh, it's so good. And this also smells very light and clean. And it will moisturize your hair. Now, some of you might like a leave-in conditioner, and that helps too. It's a 10, also has a leave-in conditioner, and a lot of them too. There's a lot of Japanese products too, like Tsubaki oil shampoo is a really good moisturizing shampoo. So always look for moisturizing shampoos. I think that's very helpful. Not anything that's going to strip your hair, because we're already having those problems. Okay, so now the next one is eyes. Oh my gosh, eyes. Who wakes up? Who has Sjogren's and wakes up like this and can't open the eyes because they're like dried shut? I know that sounds horrible, but it's just, it's the reality, okay? So there's so many different ways to combat that. There are high-end medical eye drops that you can use, like Xydra, and there's another one. None of them work for me. They made my eyes red. So for all of us who sometimes the medication doesn't work for, I use these. These are really good. This is Refresh Optive. They're one-offs so that I know. I'm also allergic to preservatives. Thimerosal is a preservative that I'm allergic to. So I use this one. There's no preservatives in it. It's really good. And I know it's fresh every time I open it. Because sometimes you leave things in the bottom of your bag or in the back of your car, and you find them, you're not sure if they're used or old. Another one that I use is in here. I keep this by my bed because sometimes it's called BioTrue. Sometimes I just flush my eyes out in the morning. I'm like, I have to like peel them open, and I just pour it in, and it just feels so good. This one doesn't have, it's very thin. So that's what I like about this. Sometimes the eye drops can feel thicker. So I know we're supposed to be doing drops throughout the day, but I don't do that. I'm not really good at being super regular, but I do it night and morning for sure. And then I wear contacts, so I think the contacts help keep the moisture in. For those who don't know, there are contacts that are better for moisture than others, so ask your optometrist what they think about that. Okay, now, this is my favorite secret. I feel like it's a secret. I don't know. These are heat-producing eye packs that you can buy on Amazon. Check this out. You know those things that you put in your pocket to keep you warm and they kind of heat up? You just put this on. Oh my gosh, this one smells delicious. It smells like Amazon. I might just end it here, guys. Yeah, might just call it a wrap right here. No, this warms up, and warmth will create circulation in your eyes and will help your eyes stay moist. So my eye doctor told me this. I've tried a few different things. The founder of the Sjogren's Syndrome Foundation, he talked to me about these goggles that you can wear, but for me, they're great inventions and they do help keep the moisture in when you're sleeping, but they're uncomfortable for me to sleep in. So I put these on. They're paper, so they just kind of fall off as I'm sleeping, and I wake up in the morning and my eyes usually do feel better. They're not completely sealed shut. Also in the morning in the shower, just with the warm water, hold it on your eyes. It'll help the circulation, okay? So that's dry, eyes, hair, and skin. I hope that you like that. You want to post the brand? Yeah, we might be able to do some sort of link. If you go to Carrie and Conversations, we're going to do an article throughout this week. This is the Autoimmune week, and we'll have links to various products that I'm mentioning here, okay? Now, a lot of you asked me about pain. Pain management is a thing, and especially during the pandemic. I get joint pain. Look, somebody just wrote me now. Do I get joint pain? Yes. I have extreme joint pain. Sorry, while we're talking, the ladies of the talk are sending me messages. We're trying to have a gathering, trying to organize it. So, pain is a big topic for me because I have been experiencing a lot of pain. I have spinal stenosis in my neck and in my mid-back. And because of that, whenever I experience inflammation in my body, I experience pain in those places immediately. It's not fun. So I do take pain medication when needed. My doctor has me on various regimens of Flexeril, which is a muscle relaxant. There's gabapentin, which is good for nerve pain. And then there's like a hydrocodone or a Vicodin or a Traumeel or various different things that other people can use for pain. I call that kind of pain, that it's not nerve pain and it's not just inflammation. I also know I've been prescribed meloxicam, which is good for inflammation. And that's like a very high dose of Tylenol. That's for inflammation, takes down the inflammation. Or maybe it's Motrin. I'm not a doctor. Remember, I'm not trying to tell you I'm a doctor. I'm just telling you what I do to survive. So, other ways to deal with your pain except for meds. And I want you to not feel bad. So I, during the pandemic, my pain levels were like between 7 and 9 consistently. And so, oh look, somebody else take this, AMN 345803. You take the same meds that I take. Yes. And trust me, no one wants to take pain medication because no one wants to be in pain. So those people who judge those who have to take pain medication, please stop. No one wants to take pain medication. We're just trying to be able to live a normal life. So, yes. Hello. I'm saying hello to whoever just asked me, if I can say hello. Some of you have asked me about food and pain. And yes, there is a connection. I am not the best at food, and we'll get to that in a minute. So, with the pain, another way to approach it holistically, besides the pain meds, as needed, and be careful with your doctors and speak to your doctors openly, communicate, do not hide how much painkillers you're using with your doctor. You need to have a great open line of communication with your doctor when you're taking pain medications because they can be dangerous if you take too much. So one of the things that has become a buzzword in the media these days is CBD. So I get this from my chiropractor's office. It's a CBD salve. CBD infused topical salve, 1,600 milligrams. This is one of the only salves that works for me. I do not know the brand. I just get it at my doctor's office. And it's a thick, see that? It's very thick and it emulsifies and it really absorbs into the pain. So at night when my feet are hurting or my neck is hurting or my joints and my hands are all swollen, I put this in and it really helps. It also helps with bug bites. Extra little gift there. Another thing that I use for pain is an ointment called Traumeel. You can get this on Amazon as well. I think it's made over in the UK. There's a stronger version that was made made over there. And now they're distributing it everywhere. And this I got from my acupuncturist, and it's very, very helpful when you're having pain. It's just, you have to find which one works for you, and they work differently on different kinds of pain. Arnica is also a great over-the-counter gel that you can put in. It kind of feels, it doesn't have the smell, but it's kind of like putting tiger balm onto you. There's also a lot of Chinese herbs that you can put on to reduce swelling and pain and inflammation, okay? So that will help. Somebody's suggesting Ease Cream and Capsules from Plexus, and it's all natural. Thank you so much for that. Gluten-free God in me. Hello. All right, the next one is for pain though, I want to get into this another time, but one of the best things to get is one of these personal massage hammer things. This is, full disclosure, my brother has this company. It's called Muscle Hammer. So of course it's my favorite. But these things work like this. You can put it on low. I use it. This is where most of my pain is here. Like how, see how it kind of gets in there? Yeah, I use it on my back. I use it on my hands. I don't know. This is a trick. I started using it on my feet before I go to bed. So this is helpful also to open up your chest. We're all kind of leaning in to look on our computers, on our phones. This is very helpful. I suggest getting anyone that you can. These are so helpful, especially because we can't get massages in the pandemic, and not a lot of us can afford massages. These are great investments, okay? And then you charge it at night. Just make sure it's always on your charger so you can use it. Also for pain, someone just mentioned Epsom salt baths. Very easy way to do it. Scoop of Epsom salts. You can put a drop of lavender. You can put a drop of rose, whatever scent that you like. Eucalyptus is also good for opening up your pores, and if you're having sinuses, all those things will help. Okay, and then a heating pad and ice packs. I have one of these cute little ice packs that you can buy on Amazon. I didn't know that they had these, but they're like material. And so they're kind of old-fashioned looking, but I have like a couple of them, different sizes, in my freezer. Sometimes the pain is just so bad and nothing will take a dent out of it, no medication. What I do is, at that moment, I use ice, and then ice just numbs it all out, and that will help bring it under control and it takes down inflammation. Sometimes I use the heating pad as well, and that helps at night for when you have that kind of pain. So someone just brought up a really good point. You can't mask the pain. You have to find where it comes from, the origin of the pain. And that you have to work very closely with your doctor, but sometimes we just have to get through the day. We can't figure out what the pain is, where it's coming from. So those are the things that I use. I also have this great, this is an investment. It was very expensive. It was like $5,000, but I think they're now $3,000, but it's like a medical grade laser. And I don't exactly understand how it works, but when I work it on some certain points of my pain, it has helped me lessen the pain. So for those who can afford, I know that that's very much out of most people's price range, but I just wanted to put it out there. And then Sana Health sent me this to work with. It is helping to reset the mind. I don't even want to explain it, but we are going to do a whole article about equipment and various technology that we can use to help us deal with your pain. This has helped me on occasion. It works with lights and sounds, and I don't really quite understand it yet, but I've asked the woman from Sana Health if we could do an interview with her on Carrie on Conversation, so we're going to get more information about this. You put it on and it sends these signals, and it's actually helped me. So some of you are talking about how you've lost you can't work anymore because of pain and all of these things. Yes, it's true. There was a time when I was afraid, can I continue with work when I'm in pain? You get scared. So pain management is a big part of dealing with autoimmune conditions. So I feel for you, and I hope some of these will help you. I also do acupuncture weekly, and I do Reiki, and I used to do massage, but now I'm doing this. Okay, now let's talk about, something else that helps with pain. So pain can also come from stress. So I was talking to one of my doctors just recently, and there's that cycle, right? So it's really important to get out of pain sooner rather than later, because what pain does is you have pain, you get stressed. When you're stressed, it causes more tightness, more pain, more stress, more pain, more stress, more pain, more stress. Can't get out of the cycle. If you have pain, this is how I do it. When I use my medication, I take the medication as soon as the pain comes on that night when I go to bed, so it's gone. And that has allowed me to not get addicted to any sort of pain medication the way I use it. So something to think about. Thank you, cbrand13. My brother's company is called Muscle Hammer. And he's just him, small company. And he works really hard, and he designed these himself. It's got a good base, and it's got really good attachments. So now, anxiety and panic attacks, I see someone's writing. Before we get to that, I want to talk about fatigue. Fatigue is an issue. I And I think it's interesting because people who are struggling with COVID are now also dealing with the kind of fatigue that anybody who's an autoimmune warrior has to deal with, right? So one of the most important ways to deal with fatigue is I take naps. I'm a full-on napper. You just got to learn how to like lay down. And there's so many apps now that you can use. Put the headphones in, shut out the world. Even if you don't sleep, close off the world for 10 minutes. That would be really helpful, okay? The app that I use is Insight Timer. It works really well. There's also the Calm app. There's so many meditation apps that you can look into. They're very helpful. It's important to make sure that you get, sorry, I have notes over here. It's important to get good sleep when you can. I have bad insomnia. I've had it now for 2 years. And so I just really try hard to make sleep a priority. So even if I have like a couple hours in the middle of the day, I'll try to lay down and just shut my mind down. And sometimes I fall asleep and sometimes I don't. 10-minute naps are great. All you have to do is hit that spot where your brain kind of shuts off, for me at least. And then like when you come back, you kind of feel disoriented. That's a great nap. Okay, so now this is my favorite tool for dealing with fatigue and life as an autoimmune person. A calendar, a wall calendar, a month at a time. So important. You need to plan rest, okay? Because rest should be your number one priority. Taking care of yourself. Days where you get to go down and don't feel bad. So it's almost like flare-up prevention. And yes, I'm Asian, who's ever asking. Okay, I'm Japanese, Chinese, Irish. So like for me, this is my schedule. The talk, two shows on a Thursday. So I try to work out. That also helps with pain management, yoga, stretching, all of the physical exercise does help, but sometimes we can't because we're in so much pain. I always schedule, do you see it here? A rest day. There's a rest day. You see it here? You see it here? I think here it's, where is it? Is that it? No, I can't read backwards. My rest day is somewhere over here. Yeah. Okay, where is it? I can't read. Trying to read backwards. Okay, so here's my other rest day. And then rest. There's going to be one of these days as a rest. So I keep reminders of when to rest. And then those days, I don't make plans with people. Because guess what? We also suffer from brain fog. And that makes us sometimes overschedule things because we forgot we scheduled something. This also helps with this. So you're saying this is opposite? I think that's because of my camera, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm not sure why it's that way. So that helps the most. That's my favorite tip to share with everybody. If you get one of these calendars, it's really great because you can just erase them after each month and you save the environment. You said it's upside down. I know it's backwards. I think because the phone flips it, that's why. Okay, so brain fog. I think it's also important to keep notepads around you all the time. Okay, I have those little yellow notepads. I keep them and I write little notes all the time to myself. I also keep a journal like this with me in my bag at all time. This is a moleskin, my favorite. I love paper. Anybody who has a paper fetish, moleskins are the best. They come in brown now, brand new. Very excited. And I'm always making lists of what I need to do so I don't forget. It does help. And sometimes I don't even need to look back at the list, but the fact that I wrote it down helped me to remember. So fibromyalgia pain, that's a hard one because that's often your nerves misfiring. So when mine is fibromyalgia pain, for me, I will take my Graylese, which is a form of gabapentin. It's a long-acting gabapentin. Someone's asking if I've ever used kinesio tape for my pain. For injuries, yes, I've used kinesio tape, but I was actually thinking about starting to use it for my shoulder. So we'll see. Thank you for the suggestion, and that's what this is for, is to help each other with suggestions. So much, Savannah is saying so much of what we're talking about, you're going through. Like you have post-it notes all over your house. That's awesome. But so much of what I'm talking about, you're going through. I want you to know you're not alone. There are so many people who are living with autoimmune. So much so that these are the questions you guys sent me about autoimmune. So I can't answer all of them, but I will answer a few. Okay, at Ron Ben says, I have RA with a low white cell count and don't know how to exercise without getting sick. Okay, so when I first started to try to get back into health, and I'm kind of back there now, I'm kind of have to start from zero again. I worked out with a trainer. A friend of mine suggested a trainer, and I was feeling really lost. And we just went really baby steps. The trick for working out for people who have chronic pain is don't push yourself into the point of pain. because that's another like week to get out of your flare-up. So it's all about avoiding flare-ups, right? So obviously diet is something that I have not talked about because I do not know and understand about the anti-inflammatory diet. That is something that I'm actually going to work on. So I am no expert. I'm actually just now going to start working on my own diet. And as I learn, I will share with you. These are the things that work for me. Oh, wait, supplements. Somebody was asking me about supplements. I just learned this on the talk the other day. We did this challenge about apple cider vinegar, and these are one of my new favorite things. Because you know how they always talk about, like, I'm sure any book that you've read about trying to get inflammation down in your system and try to take good care of yourself, holistic way of living and wellness, talks about apple cider vinegar. Well, it tastes horrible. So we actually tried these on the show, and these are now my favorite, and it has improved my digestive system. Let me just tell you. They taste like gummy bears. 2 a day is what I'm doing. And when I have sinus issues, I take oil of oregano, which is also great for... you know, when I had COVID, somebody suggested that I take this, and it's helped me in a lot of different ways. Probiotics, very important. This is the one I take. L-carnitine is another one. What it does is it helps you, I don't understand exactly what it does, but it helps you have more energy when you work out. That's what I've always used it for, but I talked to another friend of mine who has lupus, and she says she uses it on a daily basis. So, that's great. And Dalai Mama, 13, what a clever name. You said probiotics before bed. Yes, that's when I take it too. I take most of my medications either first thing in the morning or at night. Okay, and someone's asking if I'm on the talk. Yes, I'm one of the co-hosts on the talk. Okay, so now, I'm okay with being gay. Asked how much autoimmune medication are you taking? I covered that at the beginning. Witchman Cindy says, my body hurts daily and I cannot get any kind of diagnosis from my doctor. Beyond frustrated. You have to keep going. Yes, we will post this live later, and you will have access to it on here and on my other Instagram account, Carrie Ann Conversations, which I would love for you to follow. You have to go to different doctors. If you are not being understood by your doctor, switch doctors. If your doctor that you've been with that you love is not helping you with your pain, find another opinion. There are so many doctors, and just like, look at all of these things, guys, that I just showed you. All of these things. And that's only part of my regime. Different strokes for different folks. So you have to keep trying. Just do not give up. I want you to not give up. It is possible. Someone is suggesting saffron and lemon to boost your anxiety and depression. So anxiety and depression is hard because this all kind of leads to that, right? When you can't work out, don't have brain fatigue, or brain fog, you're fatigued all the time, you get anxious about your work, you get anxious about things, your mind gets overactive, can lead to depression. It's a spiral, right? So we have to just do our best each day, and then when you have a bad day, you let it go, and you move on to the next day, and you know that you're not alone. And when you feel judged by somebody for the life that you have to live, you have chronic hives, whatever is happening that day, you're frustrated, you forgive them, you forgive yourself, you forgive the world, and then you move on to the next day, okay? It's really important. So someone is saying, our brew, you barely have any support, and that's making it harder for you. Yes, well, that's why communities like this, online communities, are very important. Listen, when I was first diagnosed with autoimmune conditions, it was 2013. My father just died, and I was at home a lot because I was in pain. I was in bed about 5 days out of the week. I would just get up to do Dancing with the Stars, and then I'd be in bed pretty much most of the other time. My friends all had to come to my house. My friends would come over and help me walk my dogs. I was in a state of depression. I'd lost my father too. So many things were going on in my life. I'm sure you guys can relate to this. So what happened during that time was I was feeling very alone, and I found my way back through online communities. There are Facebook pages for Sjogren's sisters. There are Facebook pages for loopy warriors. There are Facebook pages for fibromyalgia sufferers. There are Facebook pages for antiphospholipid and for RA and for all the different autoimmune conditions. find them. There are private pages, so you can post your things without all your other friends seeing it, and you can share your secrets and your tips there, okay? All right, so guess what? It's 2:30, and we're almost done, but I just want to answer a couple more questions if you don't mind me going a little over. Normally, these are just a half an hour. Okay, so this one, someone asked me, do I get fibro fog? This is Sweet Beach 234. This is one of the toughest for me besides the chronic fatigue. Yes, it's embarrassing. I have to tell you that when I have fog, I'm embarrassed. And I work on a live TV show every day. And so sometimes I'll be reading the prompter and I can feel a fog coming on. And I just hold on as much as I can. And I forgive myself when it's done. And sometimes I'll misread the prompter. My eyes, sometimes, you know how the eyes go blurry? Sometimes I'm reading prompter and my eyes go blurry. And I just do my best. And I think because I forgive myself and I don't hold on to it, it helps the environment around me and how they know to deal with me. And also it helps me that I'm with people who accept me as I am and know my condition. I didn't go into the talk without clearly announcing that I have all of these autoimmune conditions. And I'm so grateful because they hired me, even though they knew I have all of these conditions, and they've created a completely supportive environment. And same with Dancing with the Stars. Everyone I know knows my conditions. I don't hide it. And I think that's also important so that you can deal with, that the people around you know what you have. And when I speak openly about it, instead of hiding it, it allows people to ask me questions about it, and then it spreads awareness, okay? So that's something that I think is helpful, is to be honest. I know it's scary because you think, when I first wanted to go public about my autoimmune conditions, I actually got advice not to, because what if they fire me for that? Or what if they judge me for that? And so I was quiet for another year, and I thought about it more and more, and I'm like, I cannot not share what's going on. Plus, there's probably so many other people going through it. Like if I share, I become a part of the community. And yes, Rabru, when you said when you open up, people leave, they were not meant for you. What is meant for you will be for you. What is not meant for you will never come for you. I believe I just read that in the book by Cicely Tyson, As I Am, who recently passed away. May she rest in peace. She was an amazing woman. I'm so fortunate I had the chance to meet her. So you're being tested for Sjogren's tomorrow, and you have fibromyalgia. Well, good luck, and just know that it is totally possible to live a very full, beautiful life, even with all of these conditions. It just takes more effort. So, as you can see, I spend a lot of my time throughout the week in my backwards calendar. Like there's acupuncture every week, chiropractor every other week, rest, all of these things. It's all important to do, okay? So you get to make your rules for your life with your autoimmune conditions, okay? One more time, say it with me. I get to make my own rules for my life with my autoimmune conditions. No one understands it but me. Even your best doctors will never know because they probably have never had, not every rheumatologist has had autoimmune conditions. Remember that, okay? All right, so 2 more questions and then we're going to go, and I'm going to tell you about this giveaway. Okay. Someone's asking me, Julaux 2003, thanks, is an autoimmune disease something that gets passed down from generation to generation? I honestly do not know the answer to this, but my mom and I laugh all the time about this because you have to have a sense of humor. I mean, we are, we're kind of funny, autoimmune conditions. The things that happen to us, like, it's almost unbelievable. You must keep a healthy sense of humor and be able to laugh at yourself. So my mom and I always laugh because my mom, every time I get diagnosed with a new symptom or something comes up, she goes, I have that. And I go, yeah, because I got it from you. But she's like, no, I don't have it. So who's to say? Some people think it's brought on by traumatic events. Some people think that it's brought on by an infection that's lying dormant in your body. Some people think that it is from, what's that gene? I can't remember. I wasn't prepared to talk about this, and I'm not really, I don't think I know enough to talk about it, but I will do some research and I will get back to you. So, yes, that's it. Epstein-Barr virus. Some people think that it's related to the Epstein-Barr virus, those who have it in their body. So, who's to say, but do your own research. Listen, one of the best things is that we have access to the internet, and we can ask anything of the internet and find out